Hey friends!
Hey friends!
We just got back from a road trip around the Olympic Peninsula, starting off in Seattle. This video we're going to talk about how to see Seattle in one day. We've been there, I think this is our 5th time to go.
Yeah.
And so this is what we think makes a perfect day in Seattle. We kind of hit the main highlight spots. But first, if you look down below, go hit that subscribe button for us, and you can follow our stories, stay up to date and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of people are really nervous about flying right now. So we'll hit that first. Flying, didn't you feel super safe despite all the COVID mess? Yeah?
Yes, for sure. We flew Delta, and Delta has the middle seats open, and so they do social distancing as you get on the airplane. Yeah. They load from the back. Social distancing when you get off the airplane.
And then once you get in the airport, I mean, you have to wear a mask the entire time. So from the time you get out of your car or get dropped off, you're checking in, you're going through security, waiting at the gate, getting on the plane, arriving at your destination. The only time you should be taking your mask off is when you go through the security check with the TSA agent, when they check your ID. That's it. And then we picked Seattle partly because it was a super safe city. There was basically a mandate. If you're inside anywhere, if you're outdoors, mask wearing is important, is paramount. So to start off the day, we picked our hotel. It's always tempting to stay near Pike's place or down by the water. We picked, and we felt this was probably the best time we had. We picked a hotel near the Seattle Center where the Space Needle is located, and the Chihuly Garden and Glass, and several other attractions, all in this big park complex. The hotels were probably half the price of what you would find, even more than half the price than what you'd find near the water. With our kids at least, they really like the freedom to run and play, so being right near a green space, a park, was amazing. It gave them a lot of freedom to run around. So we stayed right by the Seattle Center. So to hit the ground running, we got out pretty early, probably about 6:30 or 7 a.m. in the morning, and we walked to Pike Place, sPlaceMarket, the very famous market with the fish and booths and
fresh vegetables, fresh flowers.
Yeah, the all-encompassing
flowers
market.
are amazing. Yeah. I just kept wanting to walk past them.
So yeah, we just walked full out. It's about 3/4 of a mile probably, which seems really far, but early in the morning you're waking up, and for us it's kind of helpful for us to wake up. And we didn't even get coffee until we got to Pike Place. And our first recommendation is it's obviously well known, it's popular, but it's always fun. We always hit the first Starbucks.
What?
Like literally,
Starbucks? What's Starbucks?
I know. A lot of people are probably frowning at us. We are big coffee drinkers, but to me, being in Seattle, Starbucks is almost synonymous with the city. And the very first location is right there in Pike's sPlaceMarket. So we like to hit it. Yeah. We love it. It's just fun. And you're surrounded by the salt in the air and the people, people stocking up for the day. You see all the crates of fish and stuff going.
Oh, nice.
So it's just a fun experience. Yeah, getting your Starbucks coffee at the first location and then just kind of walking down the street. So you get your coffee, and then just down the same street, it's actually Pike Place. The road. There's Starbucks, and then almost next door, maybe 2 shops next door, down from Starbucks, there's a wonderful little handheld pie place called Piroshky. It's run by a Russian family, and they've been around, I think, for like 30 years, since like the early 90s. But they have this enormous case of handheld pies, just these little small pies.
Savory and sweet.
Yeah, I think Piroshky literally is translated to like handheld pie.
Oh, is it, Hemi?
There's a pretty loose definition for it, but you can fill it with almost anything.
Alex, what do you think of your little Piroshky?
But we really like the savory side, so we got a sausage, almost like a kielbasa type of thing, that was wrapped in pastry dough, and then a kind of a breakfast option, bacon and egg.
Oh man.
For the kids.
Well, that's like hash browns.
You're not allowed up there. You understand? Get down. Right now.
Thank you. Your
So
bacon's
good.
gonna
Yeah, it's great because you get your coffee in one hand and you've got your pastry in the other hand, and you can just kind of walk through the market and see all the activity. And we really like to go out to these little viewing decks out behind the market, and you can look out on the pier and the water. And it's just a really fun way to breakfast rather than sitting in a restaurant. You kind of sit outside and have your coffee and your.
It's
and your
called an
pastry.
active breakfast. You need active breakfast with the children. I feel
Right.
like. Get that initial energy going, you know.
Yeah, but we had our little Piroshkys, and then we were in the. So we had our savory, and then we wanted our sweet. We wanted donuts. So there's a really neat spot inside the market called the Daily Dozen Donuts, and it's just around the corner from the last fish stall, and they kind of specialize in donut holes.
They're like little mini donuts.
Yeah, and they have a lot of different options. You know, cinnamon sugar, sprinkles, chocolate covered, maple, all that kind of stuff, and you can do a mix. So we usually get a dozen of them of mixed different toppings. And when you're standing there, you can actually look through the window and you can see the little conveyor belt of donuts, getting cooked.
Cheers.
I mean, look at these things.
Family cheers. Cheers. Oh, I want some of your chocolate cheers.
So what are they like, honey?
Delicious and fresh.
They're hot in my hand. What do you think, Hemming?
How many thumbs up? A full
Thumbs up.
Wow.
Wow, the rare full thumbs up from
We don't
Hemming
get those
and
too often
Hux.
from-
So from that spot, so you've gotten your coffee, you've gotten your savory pastry, you've gotten your sweet donut, you've gotten
A little energy out.
You've gotten your view of the bay and the piers outside. So you get a really nice, in a couple of hours, you get a really nice taste of Seattle. So from getting your donuts, or once you probably want to finish them before this, but you can just go literally right downstairs and you can go see the famous gum wall. And it is so fun to see, but it is the most disgusting thing you will ever witness. Wouldn't you say? It's fun and it's playful and it's like almost historical at this point for Seattle, but it is so gross. Like you walk down the alley and you give this like 3-foot buffer on either side because you don't want to even come close to any of these ancient, gum wads along the brick. We found a little open space and we made our mark. Mm-hmm. We had the boys we all chewed some gum and we stuck them on the wall. So now we have our stamp on the famous gum wall.
God, Hemming, you're just gross. Okay, Huxley, your turn. And put it right here. Oh wait, keep chewing it. It's a little broken up. Try to chew it together a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, you can put yours. Huxley, put it next to ours, honey.
Good job, guys.
Okay, look.
We've
look
made
at
our
it.
mark.
So next time we'll come here. Oh.
There, we like to go down the back stairwell, and there's very steep stairs that go all the way down to the pier. So you're way up high, looking over it all, and then you go all the way down to the pier. And there are so many different piers that you can choose from, but all of them are filled with restaurants and shops, and many of them have really nice viewing decks out on the very ends. So we like to go down there and kind of look at the ships moving by. You can see really beautiful views of Bainbridge Island, Elliott Bay. You'll hear the tugboats kind of honking and going by. But from there, you're on Alaskan Way. So we'll go up Alaskan Way, and you can pass many, many different piers, and some of them have little seating areas where you can go and hang out and go right down to the water, fish if you have a fishing pole or whatever. But if you follow up the Alaskan Way, you'll eventually dead end at the Olympic Sculpture Park. And this was actually our first time to go there. The Olympic Sculpture Park was something that was new for us on this occasion. Mm-hmm. And it was incredible. I mean, it's a quiet park. I don't know that a lot of tourists go over there. From what I could tell, there were no tourists. It was incredible. these massive sculptures just dotting these walkways, and they're all incredibly impressive. I mean, the most interesting one, I looked up the name of it, was this massive, I think it was about a 50-foot tall head. It's called Echo, and it's sitting right out on the water, and it's like this boy's face looking out on the water. And then you can go, so there's stairs that go back up, and there's I think it's called Seattle Cloud Cover. You kind of find another path down to this other area where there were these sort of rusted metal
that was really
walls.
neat.
Yeah.
They were huge, and the kids could run and hide, and
that might have been the boys' favorite one, because they could actually run through. All day. Yeah. So from there, from the Olympic Sculpture Park, we went up Broad Street, which cuts right back up to Seattle Center, where the Space Needle, Chihuly Garden and Glass, there was like an IMAX theater that was closed, and like a science center. I can't remember. So the Space Needle is incredible, an incredible structure. It looks like this, UFO spaceship at the top of this giant, literal, metal needle cutting up into the sky. And on our day, unfortunately, it was a pretty drizzly, misty day. So we'd already bought tickets. We couldn't really change the plan, because you have to, with COVID, you have to pick a specific time slot to go. So we'd already picked our time, and we were there just for the day anyway. So we went ahead and went. But it was a cool experience.
Yeah, the kids loved it.
Yeah, because you're going.
They think they're going up in a spaceship, and you get up there. It's just, it was fun. You feel like you're in the clouds.
Right. I mean, the whole elevator ride and the experience of being up into the top of the Space Needle is pretty wild in itself. On a clear day, I'm sure it's absolutely breathtakingly incredible to see.
Yeah.
Because on the, there's an outdoor viewing platform you can step out on, and it's all glass walls. So on a clear day, you're probably seeing everything for 100 miles out. On this day, it felt like we were literally inside of a cloud.
Right.
So you can actually see the gears, because there's glass, there's parts of glass flooring that you can see the gears of the rotating floor going by. So from there, we had tickets. We got a dual ticket package of the Space Needle, and then we went to Chihuly Garden and Glass, which might have been our most memorable experience of the entire trip.
I was blown
at least
away.
of Seattle. Yeah,
it really was. I didn't know what to expect. So we've been to a lot of nice museums, but it was breathtaking. Just the way the glass and the way they did the lights, and dark spaces to light spaces, and it was done really well. It was beautiful.
And these sculptures were just overwhelming. I mean, you just walk in and your breath just is lost, because you see these incredible sculptures that he has put together of all shapes, all sizes, and they, some of them are suspended over your head, some of them are on a platform in front of you that just it is just the entire experience just washes over you. But Chihuly Garden and Glass, one of the most memorable experiences, museum or Seattle, that we've ever had. So don't miss it. It was really, really neat. And if you kind of wander on through, heading toward the kind of the northeast corner of Seattle Center, you will eventually go by another incredible experience, the International Fountain.
Don't get wet.
So after we've done this entire day, we probably hit, at least 7 miles walking. So we were incredibly hungry after all of our walking, Space Needle, Chihuly Garden and Glass, going through the park, all that kind of stuff. And if you head past that International Fountain and to the northeast corner, you go up August Wilson Way. And right across the street from there is possibly one of the most quintessential Seattle restaurant and fisheries called Taylor's Shellfish. It is an operational shellfish farm, but they also have multiple locations of restaurants. So we went to the one in the Queen Anne district, and it was this really beautiful kind of steel and glass sort of building, and they have this great little wraparound patio, so you can sit outside. Again, with COVID, it was preferable to us to sit outside. So we sat outside. We got a bottle of wine, a Washington local winery called Efestay, their Feral Sauvignon Blanc, which was, if I had blind tasted it, I probably would have thought it was a Loire Valley Sauv Blanc or something. And Taylor's Shellfish is one of those places that kind of does it best because, again, they're doing the farming and then taking it to their own restaurants. So you know everything is pristine quality and fresh. So we kicked off our meal with something we've never had before. And it was kind of a mixed experience. But we got something that's spelled, it looks like it's spelled like Geoduck. And for any foodies out there, you might already know what it is, Geo duck. But it's pronounced gooey duck. And it's a type of shellfish.
Look it up. It's really cute.
And we started off with their gooey duck sashimi, and it was literally just some sliced up gooey duck with a little wasabi and some soy sauce. And then we got one of their we got the giant Dungeness crab, and it literally just comes out, and it's all pre-cracked for you. So all you have to do is just kind of tear away the shell a little bit, suck out the meat, and instead of butter, they had this really interesting kind of soupy mix.
It's made with the insides of the crab, so you're getting a lot of that fresh sea.
So it's like they take the kind of the leftover bits of crab meat that you don't typically eat, and then I guess they put it in a broth and they kind of distill it down with a lot of herbs and other spices in it, and it's just this.
And probably butter.
Yeah. So they just don't bring out regular butter, so they bring out this kind of butter crab broth spice mixture, and it comes out in like a crab shell. We couldn't pass up their clam chowders. We got a bowl of their clam chowder, a giant bowl of clam chowder with some. It was a local bakery, sort of a French baguette sort of a thing from, I think it was Macrin Bakery, and we got a big bowl of mussels.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in their
best
classic.
Mussels I've ever had.
Yeah, it was their classic kind of white wine, lemon peel herb mixture, and it was
amazing. So they were huge and delicious, and
So that was how we closed out our day, on a beautiful meal of shellfish after a whirlwind of activity. And that's what we recommend. And there's no better way to get to know a city than to walk its street. So if you have one day, this is the best way, in my opinion, to get the full flavor of Seattle. If you have more time, that's amazing, because you can always go wine tasting at Woodinville. You can go over to Pioneer Park. You can spend hours at Pike Place alone, just wandering the different market stalls. And there's so much more to see. But Seattle, one day, there you go.
It was a good trip. Good day in Seattle.
Very good trip. Good day in Seattle.